Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI live noding. In this episode, we're gonna do something really simple using particles and animation nodes, and we also gonna use the sound concepting that we learned earlier. Basically, there's something about particles that I found interesting. I always want to do this kind of thing, like a pulse kind of particles, like being able to emit particles at any point in time in frame. So currently, if we emit particles, um, by default it's emitting at frame 1 and at frame 200. At frame 200 it's gonna stop emitting, and then until all particles that die, it's just stop simulating. So I want to change this a little bit. How are we gonna do it? Let's say uh, we want to turn this into a single point instead of a cube like this. I want to just go to edit mode and tap spacebar and then merge it into a single vertices. This time, so we can emit from the vert, and by default it's still gonna fall because of the gravity. I'm gonna turn off the gravity as well for this for now. Gonna save this real quick. It's gonna be animation nodes particle pulse, and okay, so now it's shooting that way because by default I think the vertex normal is going in that direction. We can randomize that via the normal. So if I turn off the normal, I believe it's gonna shoot. It's gonna stay in spot, but we can turn on random, and then it's gonna shoot in all directions. Okay, that's what I want for now. Shooting in all directions. Okay, now how do we turn this into a pulse? Apparently, there is one technique that I learned from Blender blog. No, it's from Blender forum, Blender artist forum, and you can apparently use something like collision. If we make these objects turn it into a collision, and now I want to make it so when it's colliding with this guy, particle just die. So you see, now let me test. Okay, whatever particle that's touching these objects should just die right away and disappear. Okay, that's the idea, and we're gonna use this. And there's also something called permeability, the chance that particles will pass through the mass. If we put this guy like put the particles like inside this box that kill the particles with a permeability 100%, what's gonna happen? Particle pass through. But if you turn this to 0, you'll see particle just kind of contained in that box, and it just doesn't go out. So we can use this fact for our purpose. Let me quickly turn this particle. So that's our emitter, and this is our particle killer. It's called cube001. With the emitter, I want to make it so the particles keep simulating for how many frames? Let's start in 1000 lifetime. Maybe make it 100. Cache. Okay, by default it's gonna cache all the particles anyway, so I don't need to change anything. So yeah, let's quickly check it out. Maybe just now the particles shooting out. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe the box was too small. Anyway, we don't need to see the box, and it shouldn't render. I should turn off that box, and we can keep seeing it on the 3D view for now. What I want to do next is kind of to control the permeability using animation nodes. That should be pretty easy, right? Just this guy kind of shooting out like that. We can control how the particles being emitted this way at any time in frame. Okay, so that's the setup. Next time we're doing something like this, I'm not gonna explain the whole thing. So we can increase the number of particles now, make it like really high number, 100,000. And now if we adjust the permeability, as soon as we do that, particle will escape. And we can kind of stop and then do it again and stop. So that's how you control the particles, particle pulse. Let me have a think. Particle damping, random. With the particle itself, I'm gonna turn on drag a little bit and damping. Maybe a little bit of Brownian. Alright, so with this guy, let's switch to animation nodes. And let's try using something like a sine wave and things like that to control these attributes, permeability. First of all, we're gonna use this thing called object attribute output. You already seen me using this quite a few times. Just grab that object and paste this guy, the path, copy data path to adjust the permeability. So by doing that, now we can control the permeability from inside animation nodes. It's that simple, and the value should be float. But you can also make it like on and off if it's like a boolean input. Plug that in, and now if we play back our particles, Alt A, now it's kind of shooting. If I turn it off, particle's gonna stop, and if I turn it again, it's gonna kind of emitting particle again, and I can stop it at any time. So that's so that's really cool. We can maybe make like some kind of fountain. Let me try doing that. Actually, I don't think we need drag and damp for now. Field weight, turn on gravity, Brownian normal. We can emit the particle to shoot up, and let's give it a try again. So by default, it's kind of off. Turn the boolean on, shooting out. Gonna turn this into like a fountain. So that's a little bit strong, maybe like 3 unit. Start and end at 35,000. This can be even higher. Lifetime random. That should be good. So now I can that's kind of off, and then turn it on, and then stop it, and it just emit like a burst of particles, and I can turn it on again and let it burst and stop it again. Yeah, so just like that. So that's way we can control how the particles being emitted, or like a pulse. In fact, if you're using things like sine wave, let me try doing that. Turn off always this to make things a little bit faster. Let's use math and use a sine wave here. sign, and then use a frame number. This guy, you know, it's gonna output like a value between -1 and 1. You see, -1 and 1. And if we plug this into the Boolean, oh, it's refusing. Maybe I need to use kind of float to integer. Plug into the Boolean. No, it doesn't work. Plug this guy into that guy. It should work. Yeah, I guess that should work. Maybe I need to also use absolute here. Absolute, where is absolute? There you go. Check the value. So it's like, yeah, okay, it's working, but it's a bit fast. Currently, maybe reduce the speed. So it's kind of doing the on and off thing. Maybe even slower. But anyway, controlling using frame is not that exciting. Maybe we can use music. So if we use our sound bake thing, this simple sound controller, we can simply load a sound. Let's get our Radufu and then just bake the sound and specify the sound here, and then just plug that into our value. Now whenever the sound get loud, it's gonna emit particles. So that's actually my plan. Hopefully this works. It's actually sort of working, but it needs to be in real time, or you need to bake it. And because the sound itself at the moment is just keep on running, so the particle will keep kind of emitting. So we need a way to maybe just map the sound a little bit better. Gonna clamp the input and map the sound 0 to 1 to kind of minus 1 to 1. So it's gonna hit like minus and gonna become like 0, I believe. So 0 and 1. Let's have a look. So you can see the particle, sometimes it stops emitting depending on the loudness of the sound. I think we can make the particle looks a little bit better. This particle, I don't know, maybe just give it a color and turn it into line. Oh, actually this guy is super small at the moment. Okay. I have a feeling that should make this even smaller, but the particle itself needs to shoot out. Something like that. and get our timeline here. At some point the sound will stop and then particles should stop emitting as well. Okay, we have that kind of little bugs there, but basically this guy shouldn't emit anything. Particles should just die. Maybe don't use this line thing. Maybe I can use the monkey head, or just use a torus, I guess. This is gonna be our instance. Select the particle, objects, size that small, okay, and then instance our torus. That's too small. Randomize the size a little bit. And we want to have rotation, random rotation, so that's gonna help. Okay, I think it's working. Just a little bit fast. Let's have a look. It's very sensitive, but you see time to time there's like a burst of particles depending on the sound. So that's actually, yeah, exactly what I want to show you. That kind of thing, I don't quite like it. I don't know, maybe we can hide it, but I guess it's kind of cool to be able to control particles that way. I think it's a bit too fast somehow. Maybe the gravity is too strong. And the Brownian also a bit strong. We don't need Brownian, just drag a bit. Damping. Let's see. Maybe we just hide the emission and just have it like this. Maybe even, you know, don't have like a directional, don't have directions, and just let it burst. Turn off gravity. That's actually working a little bit better. We don't need to see the drag and damping. You know, there's actually a lot of things you can control with particles. It's just not as obvious. Things like particle lifetime, and you can make it kind of smaller over time. But you need to kind of use a ramp, and it's a little bit tricky, but you can do that definitely using this guy. Let me use the blend. So this guy make particle goes bigger over time. We want to kind of switch it. Turn on RAM. I haven't used this for a while, but I'm pretty sure this can be done. So this should be, maybe this should be, okay, that should be white and then it become black. Okay, switch that around. This way we can have like a burst. Okay, switch to 3D view full. Yeah, that's a bit better actually. If we bake it, it's a, there is some kind of pulse happening there. Definitely need to play around more with this sound. Just interpolation, maybe minimum input, maximum 0 to 2. Make this like -5. -2. Test again. Now only when it's like really loud it's actually emitting particle. Even better if we actually add a black at the beginning. Something like that, so we don't have like a pop. This one -1.5. Don't worry about interpolation, I think. Let's check this again. Save. So whenever there's like that beat, it's gonna emit particles. Slightly better. I think I can bake this out, and we're gonna see the result after this. Anyhow, that's pretty much it for this live noding. It's a little bit long, sorry. If you have any question, feedbacks, just let me know. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for tuning in.